Hi, this is Dr. Janson, and this video is about hydration, and that means water intake. August is hydration month, and I wrote a blog article about swollen feet and ankles, and the advice, one of the tips and the advice is to hydrate or to increase your water intake. Hydration is important because it helps your kidneys work better. So if you have more water in your bloodstream, your kidneys have an easier job to do. And one of the jobs of the kidneys is to remove blood urea nitrogen from your bloodstream. That's a toxin that's produced by the liver because of protein metabolism. So the protein is broken down into amino acids, and those are important building blocks that go to your entire body. But the byproduct is blood urea nitrogen, and that's also known as ammonia. So your kidneys really have to get rid of that. And drinking water helps your kidneys do that job. And another purpose of hydration is very simple. It helps cells plump up or have a proper shape. So if you're dehydrated, your muscle cells, for example, can become flaccid or not, the right shape. So they're supposed to have a certain shape, but when they become dehydrated, they become thin. And the symptom of that is muscle fatigue. So that's why athletes definitely are big on hydration so that their muscles work well. But that's good for you too. You want your muscles to work well. And then I'll just mention one more benefit of hydration, although there are many. There's probably 100 benefits of hydration, but I'll just mention one more, and that is that fiber that's traveling through your intestines plumps up in the presence of water. So fiber becomes bigger, it has more volume, and then the fiber acts like a broom through your lower intestine, your colon, and that helps your microbiome. And your microbiome is tied to your brain function. So I'll get into that in a different video, but it's very important to promote your microbiome. Okay, so let's talk about how to do it. How do you increase your hydration? Well, first of all, let's go over like how much you should drink in a day. And I know your doctors probably said, can you please try to drink 8 glasses a day? But how big is a glass? Does the doctor want you to drink 8 of these or 8 of these? So now this is 8 ounces. And I know a lot of people are really not clear on how much is 8 ounces, but 8 ounces is about a cup. So this is 8 ounces, and this is 16 ounces. So 16 ounces is this size bottle of water. So I would say, if you ask me, that you should drink 8 of these a day. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, what? 8 of those? Holy smokes, I'm going to be going to the bathroom all day. So, and my answer to that is, and if you're my patient, you already know what I have told you. Good, go to the bathroom 8 times a day. That's fabulous, because you have your Fitbit on, because I'm a big promoter of the Fitbit, and you're going to get more steps going back and forth to the bathroom. So there's nothing wrong with that. So it will make you go to the bathroom more, but that's good. So 8 big glasses of water a day. Okay, and then, I have this filter. There's all kinds of filters, like a Brita water filter, and then there's these fancy expensive filters you can get. This is the one that came with my refrigerator. I have a 1992 Buick car that's probably worth $500, but I have a really expensive refrigerator. And it has this, and it also has, Nick, if you want to show people my ice maker, and my fancy refrigerator also has a really fancy ice maker. So I have big ice cubes and small ice cubes, and it comes with this scoopy thing too. So if you don't have fancy, you might not have a fancy ice maker, but you can make sure you make ice, because ice is also water. So drinking water, put ice in your water. And another tip, make your water fancy, and oops, I put it in your big glass, and that makes it taste good too. A little slice of lemon. So, and of course you can eat food that has a high water content. So here's an example of some fruits that have a high water content, and they also have a low sugar content, which I like. So grapes, because they have a lot of skin on them, so the fiber, cuts back on the sugar. And green apples, which don't have as much sugar as other kinds of apples. So these are called Granny Smith apples. And I also like beans. Beans are water with high fiber, so I think beans are good. And another thing to eat is soup. So make a big pot of soup in the beginning of the week. I think commercial soups are so full of sugar and flour and things that hurt your kidneys, so that's not a good thing. So why don't you make your own soup? Just get some bone broth. You can buy that, pre-made bone broth. And make something like a big pot of lentil soup. Lentils are really good, with some fresh spinach, and you can put peas and carrots, lots of vegetables. And vegetables also, have a high water content. So you can get water from the food that you eat. So soup for lunch, soup that you make yourself, a big pot, and you can heat a cup or two of that for lunch each day. And snacks, eat low sugar fruits like this. And of course eat lots of vegetables, because that's full of water. Now what to avoid? So here I have some things to avoid. So coffee, try to drink just like two cups of coffee a day, because caffeine is a diuretic. That means it makes you dehydrated. And the other thing is alcohol. The interesting thing about the problem with alcohol is that alcohol, as you know, is a diuretic. You have to go to the bathroom when you drink beer. Everybody knows that. But here's what I bet you don't know, that alcohol works directly on the pituitary gland, and that reacts on your brain and tells your brain to tell you that you are not thirsty. So the biggest problem with alcohol is your brain is tricked into thinking it's not thirsty. So, and you're sitting like after dinner for a few hours having a few drinks, and you're having diuretics, and meanwhile your brain says you're not thirsty, so you become very dehydrated. Alcohol is also a form of sugar, which produces insulin. Sugar is bad for your kidneys because you produce insulin, and insulin has a direct effect on your nephrons, which is part of your kidneys, and decreases kidney function. So certainly you want to stay away from sugar for many, many reasons. And stay away from grains too, because grains are a concentrated form of sugar, and beer is made from grain. So, but once in a while I like to drink this beer. I drink it on the weekends when we go to the beach, for example. And it has no alcohol in it, and it's only 25 calories, so it really doesn't have any sugar in it either. But it does taste like beer, so drinking one of these on a weekend is, a good substitute for beer. And then the other problem is soda or other sugary drinks. This is actually from Arby's. But, and look at the size of this. Wow, can you imagine if this was soda? So, get soda out of your life. So what I would recommend instead of drinking soda is to, and if you come over here, I'll show you. This is our little Soda Stream corner. And this is a Soda Stream machine. This was actually given to me by a patient, because I went and did a house call in the middle of the pandemic. She was afraid to come out of her apartment, and she said, "Can you make a house call?" I said, "No, sorry." And then I called her right back. I said, "Wait a minute, I'm doing nothing." "Of course I can do a house call." And she wanted to pay me some extra money for coming to her house. And I said, I have nothing to do anyway, so I didn't let her pay me anything extra. So she sent me this gift. Soda Stream machine, which is fantastic. I love this thing. So what it is it has this container. It's a carbon dioxide container, a CO2 cylinder, and this comes in the mail like this, so it's incredibly convenient. So we order these. I think this lasts us like 2 months, two of these big containers. So there's no bottles, taking back bottles, or it's good for the planet, in other words. And then we keep the Soda Stream container in the fridge, so it's cold. And then you just put it in there, and then you press the button, and it turns this into soda. And then you can add some drops of flavor here. They have lots of different flavors, and these have no sugar in them. And you just put a couple of drops in there, so it gives some flavor. Like here, this one's lime. This tastes good. Here's a picture of me and Nick in Holland. Can you believe it? You go to Holland and you dress up like Dutch people. So we did that. Here's an example of some water bottles that you can carry with you. And these are hard plastic, which are supposedly better than the thin plastic, less chemicals in the water. So if you're traveling, I would recommend that, you're trying to get to 8 big glasses of water a day, but if you're out, bring a bottle like this with you. And I know you don't want to go to the bathroom when you're out and about, but this isn't 16 ounces of water. This is probably 10 or 12. So, you open up that and you drink a little bit throughout the day when you're out, and you can catch up on your water intake when you get home and you have access to your bathroom. So do take water with you when you go out. So let me check my notes to make sure I said everything I wanted to say. Limit your alcohol, coffee, tea, and sugar. 8 glasses of water a day. The soda stream is fantastic. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables and beans, and make yourself a big pot of bone broth soup. Okay, well, I have only one thing left to say to you. Bottoms up.